Howdy doody, my neighborinos. We are playing the tutorial for Civ 6. And I don't think there's much more of an introduction than that.
From the maelstrom of sand, wind and fire, our people emerge and arrive here. A new world, one ripe with great possibility and even greater dangers. Here our people stand, their destinies unwritten. Will they push forward into greatness, or see themselves lost to the ages? Their fate lies in your hands.
They're doomed. Right. I don't really think it makes much difference for the tutorial, but you can either play as Cleopatra of Egypt or Gilgamesh of Sumeria. I'm just going to press Gilgamesh. It's not going to make any difference for the
From
tutorial.
the first stirrings of life beneath water, to the great beasts of the Stone Age, to man taking his first upright steps, you have come far. Now begins your greatest quest. From this early cradle of civilization on towards the stars. Much rests upon your shoulders, King Gilgamesh. Your own people, and many people of the world, look to you as a leader. But you are more than a mere man, and the weight of the world will never cause you to waver. Encourage the people of Sumer to settle the fertile lands along rivers, and be sure to choose your allies carefully, for there will be many vying for a piece of your strength. Venture forth, for it is time to begin your epic tale.
So every civilization has its features and abilities. Gilgamesh, or at least Sumeria's special ability, is that they can declare war on anyone at war with one of their allies without any warmonger penalties. And then when they're at war with a common foe, they and their allies share pillage rewards and combat experience. And then another one they have is when you capture a barbarian outpost, they receive a tribal village reward in addition to the gold. You pay half the usual cost to levy city-state units, and they have a special unit which is the war cart.
Welcome, Gilgamesh. Our people's fate lies in your hands. Great is the responsibility placed upon you. Perhaps I may be of service. For too long we have roamed this world without a land to call our own. Our brave settlers await your command. We should found our first city here. From the seeds of the small city shall you grow an empire.
The city is a cornerstone of any great civilization. The city's size will represent by its population, indicated to the left of its nameplate there. Each city also claims the surrounding tiles. For your exclusive control, these lands are indicated by a coloured border surrounding the city. The unique features within the borders will have a profound influence on the potential strengths of each city.
Though small now, our city will continue to grow if you allow it to.
You must choose how each city in your civilization is to grow and expand over time, improving the lands you control and creating new buildings and districts within your borders.
We are fortunate that the land surrounding our city is rich in resources. Developing it will be key to our survival.
Each city generates a variety of yields at the start of every turn. These are obtained from the hexes that the city controls. Each hex within the city's borders can provide a number of yields to help you advance your civilization. Food and production are two of these yields. Food fuels city growth, increase in its population. More food means it will grow faster. And production is used to build new items like military units and city upgrades. The more production your city has, the faster you can build things. However, each hex will need to be worked by one of your population in order to yield from that hex.
We are blessed to have such bountiful lands within our borders.
Growing your city's population is very important in order to take advantage of all the yields from the surrounding lands.
These lands will surely draw the attention of the barbarian raiders plaguing this area. We must prepare to fight back if we are to survive. Our city requires warriors.
Show me how! I put the production chooser of the city by clicking the Change City Production button.
If our people are to survive in these lands, we must focus their efforts. Only then can we master this world.
This is the city's production chooser. From here you can construct buildings, create wonders, none of them are here yet, and train military and civilian units.
Our people's protection is our utmost concern. Direct your city towards the creation of a warrior.
This is the city production chooser, and I've already read that.
Training has commenced. Already our people feel more secure.
If you say so.
Our empire will not be built overnight. We have accomplished all we can this day.
Civilization is a turn-based game where decisions are made and actions performed during a game turn, much like playing a board game with friends, if you have any. Once all the other players have made their moves, a new turn will begin. Building items in your city takes time. The number of game turns it takes is indicated on each item in the menu that I just clicked off, so brilliant time to tell me. This is calculated based on the production cost of the item versus the production yield of the city. The higher the yield, the fewer turns it takes to build. Enter.
Our warriors continue to train. But if we are to be more than the barbarian tribes we defend against, we must explore other areas of development.
Here I can choose research.
There are those among us with minds adept at unlocking the world's secrets. We need only guide them.
The technological advancement of your people is attained through research. By completing research and technologies, you will unlock new ways to exploit the land, new military units, new city upgrades, and much more. By opening up the research tab here, it shows me the 5 that I can currently make. I can't click on it right now, but you can open the technology tree to have a look at the whole
Excellent.
thing.
As our people's understanding of the earth increases, so too will our ability to harness its riches and increase our production capabilities. We must give them time to do their work.
Just as a city, don't know where I'm reading that from. Just as building new units is fueled by production, researching new technologies is fueled by science. Each city in your empire generates a small amount of science per turn. However, how quickly your research projects are completed is determined by the total of all the science generated by all of your cities. The more science you generate, the faster you research new technologies. You don't have different technologies in different cities.
Barbarian raiders approach our city. We are surely too prized a target for them to ignore. We cannot allow these savages to pillage and destroy all we have built.
We have not built nothing. For the purpose of this tutorial, we have rushed the production of this unit. Normally the production would have taken several more turns to complete.
Warriors are the blade with which we will strike down our enemy.
Military units can attack enemy units by moving into their hex. Or at least that's how melee units work. Right click on the barbarian unit to attack it.
Victory! We should take advantage of this lull in hostilities.
Tasks which must be completed before you can end your turn will appear in the notification panel on the bottom right of the screen here. Since production is finished in the city, you will get a reminder that you need to choose the next thing to produce before you can end your turn. Click the Choose Production notification to select your next production task.
The lands surrounding our city are fertile, yet as of now, they lie undeveloped. We must create a workforce if we are to make the most of the resources within our borders.
I'm going to make a builder now.
Excellent.
The builder unit has been added to the city's production queue. It will take several turns to complete its training. Since there are no remaining decisions that need to be made this turn, the next turn button is displayed.
While our builders train to improve life within our borders, we must not ignore the lands beyond them. The only way to truly master this world is to understand it.
At the beginning of the game, your city and the lands immediately around it are revealed, but the areas beyond, represented by blank parchment, indicates parts of the world you have not yet explored.
Beyond combat, our warriors make for ideal explorers in this uncertain and hostile world.
Warrior units have a movement range of 2. The blue coloured indicator shown on the land around the unit displays the furthest the selected unit can move in that turn. You may notice it's not a perfect hexagon around it though, because tiles such as hills, and I don't know if it's going to tell you this now anyway, but tiles such as hills and forests and rivers cost more than 1 movement to go over.
Alone, on foot, the wildlands take a heavy toll on our troops.
Open terrains like plains and grasslands only consume 1 movement point, whereas more difficult terrain like woods and hills, or crossing rivers, will consume 2 or more movement points, moving the warrior unit to the highlighted location by right-clicking.
Already our warriors' efforts bear fruit. They have come upon a small tribal village.
Exploring tribal villages can give your civilization one of many instant benefits, like granting additional population to your city, awarding gold. Sometimes they upgrade a unit, give you XP, or reveal some of the land around it. It's a good strategy to explore as many tribal villages as possible.
This people seem different from the barbarian tribes we encountered.
Since your warrior unit has used all of its movement points, it is done with its actions this turn. Production and research tasks are still in progress, so there are no other decisions to be made.
Our warriors stand before the village gates. They await your command to enter. It would seem friendship has its rewards. Our success against the barbarians has reached this village.
All tribal villages will grant a reward when explored by a player. This tribal village has granted you a new scout unit, which has appeared in your city.
Though not skilled in the ways of combat, this tribe possess a great knowledge of the land. Their ability to move through the terrain quickly makes them ideal scouts. We should put them to good use.
Notice that the scout here has a movement of 3, allowing it to move a greater distance than other units.
We should employ these scouts with caution. They are excellent explorers, but poor warriors.
Note here though, I can't click on the warrior, but I seem to recall they have an attack strength of 25, scout has 10, so that's what it means. That's the first free action I've made this game.
Exploration may bring many rewards, but let us not forget the safety of our capital.
Units can be ordered to move longer distances by giving them a multi-turn order. This will eliminate the need to give them a separate move order every turn to reach its destination. Don't know why it's asking me to click on this, but it works the same. Whereas by me pressing and holding right trigger and releasing it where I want it, right click where I want it to go, by doing that, at least letting go outside of the blue ring means that it will automatically go there. However, there's the other option to click this button instead. But it works the same.
Our scouts await orders. They must explore and teach us about new lands yet undiscovered. Our city continues to prosper.
The population of your first city has grown from 1 to 2. As long as the city is well fed and its people are happy, it will continue to grow. The citizens of the city work the surrounding plots and improvements, contributing to greater yields. High populations contribute to faster science research, faster city production, and faster cultural growth. It is always a good strategy to not only found new cities to expand your realm, but also to grow those cities. You'll find a lot of personal taste in how you play the game. It's based around either building lots of cities or building few but making them stronger cities.
There are no further matters to attend to today. While our forces prepare the defense of our city, our best minds have discovered how to extract precious resources from the earth itself. With an abundance of valuable stone nearby, our builders may be able to exploit this knowledge when they complete their training.
Your civilization will always be research and technology. Because you have completed mining, you must now choose what to research next before you can progress to the next turn.
Our people delight in the pursuit of knowledge. We need only direct their efforts, and they... A wise decision. Our people may now uncover new uses for the materials we unearth. But let us not forget the exploration efforts of our scouts.
Research has begun on the pottery technology, and the turn once you have moved your scout unit. You see here though, even though the scout has 3 movement, because this is a hill and has trees on it, it actually costs 3 movement points to go onto it. No, I lied. It actually only costs 2, but I can't go any further forward because these all cost 2 as well. So I could go back, but yeah, there's no point in that.
Our citizens rejoice at the return of our brave warriors. Perhaps...
When not advancing a military unit, it is often a good idea to fortify the unit. When ordered to fortify, the unit will spend up to 2 turns digging in. This will increase their combat strength if they are attacked.
Excellent. With our warriors entrenched in their positions, our people are secure.
This unit will now have an advantage in combat when defending. However, if the unit is moved, it will lose its fortified status and have to be ordered to fortify again in order to receive the bonus.
As our scouts continue to push onwards, let us turn inwards to our own capital. Our builders now stand ready. Constructing a farm on fertile lands within our city will increase our yield and better feed our people.
Builders can construct a wide variety of improvements to your own land. The type of improvement that can be built on a plot is often determined by the type of terrain. Plains and grassland plots are ideal for farms, which help increase population.
These plains possess rich soil, an ideal spot to plant our first crop. Excellent. With their stomachs full, our people prosper.
Constructing a farm here has increased the food yield from this plot from 1 to 2. The amount of food generated by a city determines how fast the population of that city grows, granting you new citizens to work more tiles with.
But remember, our builders' strength is not infinite. We would be wise to make the best use of their talents before exhausting them.
Workers can build up to 3 improvements before exhausting their workforce. However, there are different perks you can unlock later on, or using different civs that would increase that. This number is indicated in the unit panel there. The builder unit has consumed 1 of its workforce from building the farm and now has 2 remaining. You can see as well by the amount of people standing there.
With their basic needs met, our people now have the capability to construct more elaborate structures.
In addition to training units, your city can focus its production on constructing builders like the monument. Try building one now. Yeah.
Excellent. As pride in their own culture grows, our people shall be driven to spread our civilization. Now that our people are fed, let us turn our builders' attention elsewhere. There are valuable resources surrounding our city that have yet to be exploited.
Scattered around the map are resources of various kinds. There are three categories of resources. Luxury, to contribute to overall happiness of your citizens. Strategic resources are essential for creating powerful military units or specific military units. And bonus luxuries like the stone and I believe the cocoa is one as well, provide additional yields. The stone is a bonus resource, as it provides an additional +1 production to that tile and to the city if it's been worked. If you build a quarry improvement here, it will raise the yield to 2 production.
Direct the efforts of our builders towards harnessing these valuable materials. Excellent. This stone we extract from this quarry will only increase our production capabilities.
I suppose now would be a good time as well. If I... Oh, never mind, it doesn't want to show... Oh, there we go. Were they on before? I don't know. So, with these yields, it shows that every tile, every hex, has a preset yield depending on what's on there. So, plains, for example, have 1 food and 1 production. Grasslands have 2 food and no production. Tiles with a forest on it will have +1 production. Tiles with a hill will also have +1 production. So this one, which is a grasslands, so it's got 2 production. It's got trees, so another grasslands, so it's got 2 food. Trees, so it's got 1 production, and hill, so it's got another production. So, for example, this was a grasslands, and so it's got 2 food. But after I built a quarry, well, because the stone was there, it added 1 production. By me building a quarry, it added another production. This was a plains, and so I had 1 food and 1 production, and then by building a farm on it, it added another food. You'll see this other stuff like tundra, by default only have 1 food and no production. And what's this called? I think this is just snow. I think it's just a snow tile. They have no yield. Whereas, see, you can actually, there's a snow tile here, but because it's got a hill on it, it's got 1 production. You can see here as well. The default for sea tiles is 1 food and 1 gold. However, that can change with buildings if it's within your city area, if they're on the coast. These tiles have fish on it, so that changes to 2 food and 1 gold. And if I were to build fishing boats by upgrading the tile with a builder, it would be 3 food and 1 gold. Similarly, got crabs here, which adds it to 3 gold. And if I was to build a fishing boats there, I think it would make it 2 food and 3 gold. See, there's tiles here with wheat on it, and they're plains, so they're naturally 1 food, 1 production. But with it being there's wheat on it, it's 2 food and 1 production. If I were to build a farm on it, it would become 3 food and 1 production.
With our quarry now complete, we must turn our builders' attention towards additional improvements.
Your builder has still 1 workforce remaining. You can now use it to build either a mine on a hill plot, or a farm on the plains plot, or a grasslands plot, doesn't matter.
There is still
But
valuable land within our borders.
only mines can be built. Well, mines can only be built on hill tiles. That's not cocoa, then that's... Oh, that's coffee. Okay. And then that's cocoa. I believe you can only get cocoa in jungle tiles. In addition to food, your people also require amenities, or amenities, however you pronounce it. 1 source of amenities are luxury resources such as the coffee. next to the capital. With the pottery technology, it would be a good idea to research irrigation enabled for your builders to improve luxury resources. Now I'm going to research irrigation and just give them another order. Mountain tiles by default have no yield and cannot be worked, but that changes in like some of the DLC, or depending if you're playing at some DLC Civ.
Our people truly thrive under your guidance. But
by accumulating culture, you have just unlocked the Code of Laws, which contains your first government chiefdom.
we must now enact policies to better steer the growth of our people.
Here's the government tab. See, I've got a chiefdom. There are many types of government in Civilization 6. In addition to various benefits, each government has a number of slots in which you can enact policies. The first government available to you is chiefdom. It has 2 available slots for policies. The first one is for military policies and the second one is for economic policies.
Discipline is the heart of any army and is a valuable advantage over the unorganized barbarian rabble. Urban planning will only make our cities more organized and efficient. I suggest we enact both these policies.
To slot a policy, click and drag the policy from the right to the appropriate slot on the government on the left. Try this now by adding discipline policy and the urban planning policy. Quick note on this, because these are the first 4 you get in every game. Of course, this increases your combat strength against barbarians, and this increases, well, doubles the experience for recon units like the scout. So, of course, if you're having more trouble with barbarians, this one's more useful, but if you're exploring more, this one's going to be more useful. I normally start with this one, just because it's focused on improving the capital, whereas this one is focused on improving all your cities you have, but of course if it's the beginning of the game, and you're not spreading really quickly, you're only going to have your capital anyway. However, it wants me to use this one, so who am I to judge?
Though our policies begin to bear fruit, our civilization will only continue to grow.
Much in the same way you research your technologies by generating science, you unlock civics by generating culture. You have already unlocked the Code of Law civic, which enables you to establish your first government. Now you need to select a new civic to advance towards. Similar to the technology tree, the civics tree has different choices and paths as you progress through the game. For this tutorial, click the craftsmanship to start advancing. So, the craftsmanship policy, when I complete, will give me access to these 2 policy cards. Ilkum, which is 30% production towards builders, so it means I make them 30% quicker, and a Gogi, or Gog, I'm not sure, which is plus 50% production towards ancient and classical era melee, anti-cavalry and ranged units. Say hypothetically I was able to click on foreign trade, it would allow the creation of trade routes. It would also allow me to establish a joint war. It would unlock the trader unit, and I'd get the access to the policies caravanseries, which is plus 2 gold from all trade routes, and maritime industry, which is double production towards ancient and classical era naval units. Which one of these you go for first is heavily based on your surrounding area. So if you've got immediate access to other civs, you're more likely, foreign trade is going to be more useful to you. Whereas if you're more secluded, then craftsmanship is going to aid you better first. You also notice here there's boost. Almost every tech and civ in the game has some achievement per se that you can do that will boost it. For instance, I've boosted craftsmanship by improving 3 tiles, and that essentially halves the amount of culture I need to complete it. Whereas I can boost foreign trade by discovering a second continent. Will it allow me to go on then? Right, so yeah, I'll just show you the tech tree now. Of course, it starts with the dawn of civilization, and that allows you, that's just prerequisite knowledge. And so, of course, I got mining first, which allowed me to build the mine and the quarry, and allows the chopping of woods and the harvesting of copper. Then I got pottery, which allowed the granary and the harvesting of wheat and rice. And I'm currently getting irrigation, which allows the clearing of marsh, the harvesting of bananas, and building of the plantation. And of course, this goes on through the eras. Yeah, you get the idea. Let's have a look. So on the civics tree, each of these two then split into another two. You have to get both of these two to get political philosophy, which allows you to get the one of the next three government types. And then you carry on going. Then you can unlock monarchy. If you get that one, you can get theocracy. Up there, you've got merchant republic. You'll notice how you unlock all these three at the same time. The middle three are separated, and then they converge again when you unlock ideology. And you kind of bottleneck through here, and then choose one of these. So you get democracy, fascism, and communism. And then that's the end of the tech tree there, civic tree.
We are blessed. This monument stands as a symbol of the accomplishment and determination of our people.
You can see it, I think, there. I'm not able to zoom in right now, but your city has finished production of the monument building. All buildings contribute to a city's development in a specific ways. The monument will increase the culture generated by the city, which extends the city's influence over additional hexes. That's another note. So having the science, all your science it generates in all your cities is added together, and that's your science progress and is put towards getting new technologies. All the culture that all your cities get are added together, and that's your progress towards getting the next civic. However, individual cities, their culture is also measured, and it affects the speed at which new land is added to their individual borders. It hasn't said anything about that yet, but you'll notice when I settled the city, these 6 tiles around it I got. But then there's a tile at the top right with the trees on it, and the tile at the top left with the hills on it that are now mine also.
Perhaps we are now ready to spread our civilization beyond our capital city.
Open the production chooser and begin training settler unit. Remember, the production chooser can either be accessed by the city's information panel or by the choose production reminder in the notification panel on the right side of the game view. So settlers create new cities, but will reduce the city's population by 1 when it's completed.
Excellent. These brave settlers are ready to carry our culture into the unknown.
Jinek jizet izis hepertesep sen. Jinek Cleopatra hena henemeset ir. Iu ekshau.
Resources and land are not infinite. It seems we now have competition.
You have met the leader of another civilization. In Civilization 6, there will typically be several other civilizations sharing the game world with you. These are controlled by the game AI and will have all the same abilities and ambitions that you do. Of course, this depends on the size of the map you choose from. You have the smallest map, which is Jewel, and that only has 2, and then it goes up to, without mods at least, it goes up to, I think, Giant, and that has 12. They actually have space for more, but the recommended is 12. I think you can put in like up to 22, I think. Of course, there's mods as well, which make it even bigger. As you play, you will need to consider how to deal with your neighbours and watch them carefully to improve your understanding of their strategy. So I've just got craftsmanship. I'm not sure if this is the point where the tutorial's ended. I'm not sure if I actually accidentally skipped over that part where it said that, or if it's not said and it's just implied, because now I seem to have free reign. As often in the case of history, technology discoveries inspire new technologies, building upon knowledge gained in the past. In the game of Civilization, this is simulated by the technology tree. Open the technology tree in the button.
With knowledge comes opportunity. As our people's understanding of this world grows, new paths present themselves to us.
The technology tree displays all the researchable technologies available in the game of Civilization, from the ancient era all the way into the information era and beyond. The gold-coloured nodes represent technologies that you have already finished. The dark grey nodes represent technologies that are available to start research but are not complete. And light grey nodes represent technologies that are not yet able to begin researching. These technologies need to be first unlocked by researching one or more of the prerequisite technologies. Since we have already researched pottery, we're now able to begin research on the writing technology. Writing technology will allow me to build the library and the campus. It will almost certainly give more information on what makes this so interesting later on, along with stuff like the holy site and the encampment, and there's more further on as well. Commercial hub, harbour. There's the industrial zone. These are districts, and they're kind of important things. There's an aerodrome and the spaceport, and I think that's all of them. Oh no, actually there's the theatre district, but that's on the civic tree. For example, once you've finished researching the writing technology, you will be able to construct the campus district as well as the library building in all of your cities. The campus and library allow you to increase the amount of science you generate each turn, allowing you to research technologies faster.
Our legacy will one day be recorded beyond the spoken word.
Bit sure of herself, isn't she?
Our settlers have finished preparations.
Unlike the settlers and building units, like settlers and builders are non-combat civilian units and thus cannot defend themselves. This leaves them highly vulnerable to be captured or killed by enemy units. However, your military units can act as protection for the civilian units if they occupy the same hex. An easy way to move two units together is by linking them together until they reach their destination.
Excellent. With our people prepared, we must now choose our destination. There is an area rich in resources, not far from the capital. Let us send our settlers there. Though our settlers are safe under the protection of our warriors, our capital is now defenseless.
In the game of Civilization, once a player loses all their cities, the game is over. So very important that you protect your cities, especially your capital. So this would be a good example for me to make the war cart, which is one of Sumeria's unique unit.
Though our warriors are valiant, a proper fighting force must be diversified. Slingers provide a different style of combat.
In choosing a location to settle a new city, it is important to look for the fertility of the surrounding land. Proximity to sources of food, resources and fresh water are all very important. For this tutorial, we've already found an ideal location for you.
Order our people to take root here.
When your settler unit is able, click the Found City button to create a new city here. This may require moving on to the next turn if your settler is out of movement points. It doesn't though.
Well done. Our civilization continues to spread beyond expectation. In time, already this new city yearns to grow.
Let's make a builder. See, now Cleopatra is annoyed at me because I built a city so close to theirs. I will, however, go with the aggressive option and say that they will settle where they please.
It appears our slingers have completed their training. Already, the people of our city feel safer.
The Slinger unit has been finished training in your capital. Slingers are ranged class units allowing them to attack from a distance without engaging in melee combat. This keeps them from taking a reciprocal damage during the attack. Ranged units also tend to have lower defense strength than their melee fighting counterparts, so it's best to keep them closer to friendly units of other types for protection.
As our army continues to diversify and improve, our future grows even more secure.
As you progress through the game and research new technologies, you unlock better, stronger, and more advanced units. Building a strong and diverse fighting force is essential in competing against other civilizations, preserving the safety of your people.
With our slingers training complete, we may now direct our people's efforts to new pursuits.
The city, it is now up to you to decide what you would like to produce in the city. Suggestions: train a builder, train a combat unit, build a granary. I'm going to build a granary, probably. You know what, since I'm Sumerian, I'm going to make a war cart.
Eu mei iem rimat shautiu empaiter. Ente kiswa enimiu yem.
Sorry, but I want to kill you. Of course, I could have declared war on it and have the units stay here. When you declare war, all the units that are within the target of the declaration of war's city's borders are just thrown to the nearest tile outside.
With writing, we unify our people. A common written language allows ideas to flourish and our collective knowledge to grow. Were we to provide a place to collect and share this knowledge, our people would surely prosper.
In Civilization 6, there are many types of districts that can be built in your cities, each with a specific purpose. By completing research and writing, you're now able to construct a campus district in your city. The campus district is dedicated to increasing the amount of science generated by the city.
A good city can become a great city through careful planning. Deciding where to place a city district is an important decision.
Many districts in the game also get bonus, depending on where they are placed within the city. The campus gets a bonus when built next to the mountains or jungles. As you can see here, this slot has mountains on 2 of its edges, each providing +1 science per turn. Placing the campus here would be ideal.
Already, the greatest minds in our civilization eagerly await the completion of this campus. But we must not allow these great thinkers to be idle. Let us turn their attention elsewhere.
Since you have finished the writing technology, You are now able to choose what to research next. If you would like a suggestion, animal husbandry and bronze working are both good choices. Animal husbandry will allow you to marry any animal that you would like, and also build a pasture and camp improvements. Bronze working will help you militarily by unlocking the encampment district as well as allowing you to build spearmen. However, I might go for neither, and I might go for the astrology, so I can show you what. Maybe I can fit in some stuff about religion in this as well. So the war cart has a movement of 4 tiles, and that's mostly a product of the fact that it is a cavalry unit. Probably the earliest cavalry unit you can make in the game, and get. You notice though that most unique units in Civ are essentially an upgraded version of one that's already in the game, rather than adding a new one. So it helps with balance and stuff like that. So I just found a new tribal village and they gave me 26 gold. What I'll do here is something you can do on the science tree as well, is if you're uncertain about which one you want to get, but you are certain about something you want to eventually get, such as political philosophy, you can just click on that and it will beeline its way there the quickest way it can. So it's going to do foreign trade, then automatically go to early empire, then automatically do political philosophy immediately afterwards. Hey, I can declare war.
Eu sehotep tu Osiris. Heri nai heftiu.
They really did go overboard on Cleopatra's animation.
War is upon us. Our people are in danger.
When engaged in war with another civilization, it is best to have sufficient number of combat units both to defend your cities and fight abroad. Sometimes it is necessary to suspend production on a building or district in order to train units to fight the war. I made that mistake a lot. I'll start a war and I'll have my units and then I'll just carry on building whatever I was doing before, and I end up getting completely overrun because they've either made more units or mine have got killed and I haven't prepared for it. To do this, simply change the current production task in the city to a combat unit you wish to create. I'm not going to do that though. Even though I just said that's something I do all the time, I don't think it's necessary in this situation, seeing as they don't have any units or any walls around their city. Okay, well of course they make a warrior as soon as I say that. Well, they're using a scout, probably the weakest unit.
Our greatest scholars and scientists.
Oh my god, the weakest combatly capable unit in the game to fight my war car. They're obviously desperate. So now build the campus and commit the library.
Our people have prospered under your guidance.
To win a game of Civilization, you need to defeat all the other cities in the world, and multiple ways of achieving this. Most games will also end in the year 2050, after a set number of turns. If no players achieve these victories by then, the score would determine the winner. The score is calculated as a general measure of each player's achievements in the field of endeavour. Quite often, though, when I play, I just turn the turn limit and the score victory off. However, I think it might be interesting to turn it on every now and then.
The task before us is great, but under your leadership, we shall not fail. As always, I stand ready at your side should you require any assistance along the way.
The status of each victory's conditions are tracked in the World Ranking panel. Open it now. The overall tab, I'm just going to move that out of the way. Of course you can't see that, but the overall tab gives you an overview of all types of victory and your ranking against other players. The other tabs give you more specific detail about each set of rankings. So I'm currently leading, I'm currently leading the science victory, because we both have 5 technologies, but the way it determines who's winning in that case is that I've got 7.5 science per turn and Cleopatra has 4.3. Currently winning the culture victory, even though none of us have tourism. That's later on in the game you get that. But I have 4.5 culture per turn and she has 4.1. I'm winning the domination victory, seeing as I have a military of 2.5 times the size of hers. However, she is winning the religious victory because she's getting 1 faith per turn. The score tab will tell you overall scores. You show the detail. For instance, I have 18 score from my empire, 10 from technology, and 6 from civics. She has 10 from technology, 8 from empire, and 6 from civics. So I'm 7 points ahead. Science victory has 3 parts here you have to do. You have to launch the satellite, which is build a spaceport, research rocketry, and then launch the Earth satellite. Then you have to research satellites and launch the moon landing. Then you have to research nuclear fission, launch the Mars reactor, research robotics, launch the Mars habitation. Launch the Mars habitation. Then research nanotechnology, launch Mars hydroponics. However, you don't have to do them in that order. You have the culture victory, which later on, to achieve a culture victory, you must attract visiting tourists by generating high amounts of culture and tourism. Victory is achieved when you attract more visiting tourists than your civilization has any other civilizations has domestic tourists at home. Your domestic tourists represent the tourists from your civilization that are happy vacationing within your borders. Your visiting tourists represent the number of citizens you've attracted from the domestic tourist pools of other civilizations. Not exactly simple. I don't know it especially well, and I've never actually had a culture victory before, but that's not usually how I play it, to be honest. Domination victory, you must conquer the original capital of every other civilization. Strong military is highly recommended, because we're not absolutely stupid. Then the religious victory, your religion must become the predominant religion in every civilization in the game. Religion is predominant when it is followed by more than 50% of the cities in their civilization. The rest of the tutorial will help you achieve your first domination victory. The goal of a domination victory is for your civilization to be the last to occupy its own capital city. If you're unsure about something or looking for more information about anything you've seen in this tutorial, there's a good chance you'll find it in the Civilopedia. So, probably going to win now anyway. Isn't really much more to say. I mean, I've just finished the religious theme, but I don't even think I'll be able to make religion now anyway. So I don't have any faith, so I can't get a great profit. So I could change now to building. Oh, actually, I can make Stonehenge. When you unlock astrology, you can make Stonehenge, which is a wonder, and Stonehenge just gives you a free great profit anyway. However, wonders you do have to choose a place to build it, and so, seeing as that's already got an improvement on it, I'm going to spend some gold to get this new territory and build it there.
The task at hand is of critical importance.
So I don't want to kill her too quickly, or else I won't be able to make religion and show you what that is. So, just gonna promote them. So when you promote a unit, they gain 50 health back, and you can choose. It's almost like its own little tech tree. Different unit types have different promotions. So scouts just doing whatever they're doing. In some cases, I just press automate exploration, and they'll just automatically go to places they haven't explored yet. But I can't seem to choose that right now. So.
We have the opportunity to develop a formal trade route between two cities.
Yeah, however... Oh, actually, I just realised. So I was going to say, I can't make a trade route, seeing as I'm currently at war with the only other city in the game, and realise I've got another city. So, I'm going to make a trade route. It can either be a... a domestic trade route, or a... forgot the name of it. Back in a second. Oh, of course they are. Right, so now I can't show you religion because Cleopatra's just finished Stonehenge, or at least he's going to finish it before I can, so I can't make it anyway. So I'm just going to finish them off. Arch is just a better version of the slinger. No. Of course, this is a very quick game.
We are victorious.
Our enemy is erased from the pages of history forever. Though our victory is glorious, our people wonder if this is the only path the future must follow. We envision a time where the great works we create inspire other civilizations to flock to our culture. Where the beliefs our people hold spread across the entire world. And where our greatest minds push the limits of our abilities. To new frontiers previously undreamt of. The choice is yours.
So that was a very quick game. Of course, domination victory is usually the quickest, and that was on the smallest map size. So, great representation, I know. Bye!